But the
Can we
world
get some
needs
LSK
the fanny
fanny
packs.
packs?
Dude, they want PRP, LSK fanny packs. Dude,
Yes.
all they do is comment on all of our posts now. Fanny packs.
Oh, gosh.
Stop the madness, please.
So I'm Aaron here with LSK for the new industry podcast. Today we've got Justin from PRP Seats here, and we're pretty excited for you to be here. Thank you for coming.
Dude, naturally.
Yeah, for sure. We've got some new product here he's going to talk about. We're going to talk about, what they have to offer and why people pick what and what they recommend. And let's go ahead.
Yeah, man, it's a really awesome market. The off-road space is better than I ever imagined 4 years ago starting to work at PRP. And since then, all I've ever wanted is just to continue to just raise the bar, on popular products, that off-roaders come to love. And, these examples in front of you is exactly that, just raising that bar, taking the black harness that's already super popular, just raising that level up to, infinity. I feel like, the possibilities are endless as long as we put our minds to it. And, both of these examples are clear examples of more designed products that are already popular.
Absolutely. And honestly, like, you guys have seats in almost every UTV I see out there, race car. I mean, you walk through a crowd and anywhere in the industry or any event, and I just see PRP all over the place. And it's pretty incredible the amount of people that believe in you guys and the stuff you've created. And the seats are just unreal. And one of my big questions for you is, why would someone pick a composite seat or racing seat over a suspension seat? And, when do you recommend one over the other? And what would you go for? Yeah,
really good question. If a customer came up to me and asked me that question, most of the time I'm going to say I'll never be able to actually convince you how to pick one or the other because it's all mental. And so a lot of the older heads really love the suspension side, and then a lot of the newer guys are like, I really love composite. So it really just comes down to comfort. To me, for suspension is, suspension, you are feeling the suspension. You are with the suspension of the vehicle you're in. And when you're riding in a composite, you're with the vehicle that you're in. So it's just a different type of feel. You're with the car, basically, in a composite. And with the suspension seat, you're with the suspension of the seat. So you know what the car's doing versus, being in your compact seat. But I'll never sway someone across. I want the consumer to pick the one that works for them. Right. They always go, what's safer? And I'm like, how are you going to roll? How are you going to crash? That's I can't dictate that, and neither can they. When it happens, it happens.
And I think one of the big things is I see a lot of people start with a suspension seat because it's just comfortable. You sit in it, it feels like a normal chair. Like you feel like you're just like part of the vehicle. And then you tighten up your belt, you feel good. And then a lot of people that go a lot faster or higher endurance, and they start going into the composite series seats.
That's exactly it. I mean, we were just out at King of the Hammers. There's PRP, there are other racing seat brands totally out there, but if you're racing 4800, 4400, I'm primarily seeing our Alpha Race Series seat, which is a full composite seat, and then if I see like 4500 and UTV class, or 4500 specifically, they're really into suspension still. So they're running our Podium series, our Comp Elites. And then when you get to UTV, they're running the Alpha seat again. So it just, and when you get into racing, the way the market's shifting is totally to going a fiberglass composite. See, the day and age of running suspension in race cars is starting to dwindle away. It's definitely moving towards that. But suspension's great. I think it's just as safe. Tons of consumers in the enthusiast market run suspension, and suspension seats have been around for a very long time.
It seems like a great option, and also just like the ability once you get into that composite seat. I've noticed when you tighten down your belts, they stay tight. Like there's a lot of advantages to that. It's a harder seat, maybe not as comfy at the moment, but throughout the day you're usually happy about it. But if you're just cruising, you're hanging out in Glamis, going trail riding, the suspension seat seems like the way to go, and that's pretty much what you're seeing out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We launched a brand new seat, a re-envisioned seat, the XCR, in July. And the market's been so in love with that seat.
Yeah.
You know, the sales of the XCR has been well received in the market. Sandsport Super Show, super well received seat. So the XCR and the GT3 suspension seat for UTVs is really kind of taking the cake and continuing that progress of growth here at PRP.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And one thing you guys offer that I think is amazing compared to other seat companies is the ability to customize them, pick your colors. I mean, you can go right on your website and select all the different, like the stitching, the certain panels, what color you want, whether you want vinyl or cloth. Like it's pretty cool that you guys can do that in real time, see what you're going to order.
Yeah, we really take pride in that. All of our suspension seats, all the covers, you know, they're all sewn here right in Southern California. So it is a really cool product to allow the customer to customize what they want. It allows the personalization. You bought something, you know, a Razor or a Can-Am that's off the factory line. You know, there's hundreds, if not thousands of other people with the exact same rig as yours, you know. And what are you going to do to make yours? You know, and our tagline's PRP, make it yours. And that's what we want. We want people to make it their own.
It's awesome. It's very cool. And you know, obviously if someone's buying the seats, they're buying the harnesses from you guys too, so it all matches. I mean,
sure hope so.
Pretty killer option to see, you know, the seat belts in there. When do you recommend people to run the 4-point harness versus a 5? And then you know, obviously the 5th point is, in my case, I love having the 5th point. I feel like it keeps it in the right spot. You know, what do you recommend for people?
Yeah, a couple good things to note here. The 4.2 harness, the 4-point, it's sewn in, which means it's all one piece. It has the auto buckle on it. We have it in a lap option, but the auto buckle options are best-selling belt. That's number one. But then when you jump to the 5 points, if you're driving aggressively, you're not afraid to take little jumps here and there. Like, you should be running a 5th point just to make sure that you're not, you know, flying up.
Absolutely.
Basically, you know, as much as the harnesses are strapped down around your actual shoulders, you just want to, you know, you never be too cautious, I feel like. So definitely recommend a 5th point. I will say the day and age of running a 3-point harness, you know, is dwindling away. That was the in thing to do. Now people are worried about that chafing on the sides of their necks. I'm like, well, if you're always wearing a hoodie, you know, that's preventing it from chafing on your neck. But, people like 2-inch. They're running towards 2-inch. SFI came out and let everybody know that a SFI certified 5.2 is just as safe as a SFI certified 5.3.
Really?
Yeah. So
awesome.
there is no safety difference jumping from a 2-inch to 3-inch, like the brain would want you to believe.
And I've always had the 3-inch, but I actually got to try out a car with 2-inch white, and I really liked it. I thought it would put a lot more like pressure, but to be honest with you, it was a lot more comfortable around the neck. Yeah. Felt like it wasn't like restraining you as much, but you were still secure. It's kind of like a feel thing. I guess 3 inches, 2 inches more just like a
brain. Like your brain goes, this pad's bigger, so it should be more comfortable. And naturally it isn't, or it doesn't have to be. Every rider's different. Like when I go riding up, I'm always in a hoodie. I don't care whether it's 2-inch or 3-inch. But if someone said, what harness do I want? I'd say 5.2. You know, if you're driving aggressively. But if you're driving, aggressively, you're definitely, you know, the guy that's a over enthusiastic driver. Run the 5. If you're out there for leisure, hanging out, trail riding, getting in and out a lot, kids, your lady doesn't want to keep assembling this every single time. You know, get them the 4.2 or the 4.3. Those are 2 sewn-in belts where it's all one piece, and so that would be my easy, quick recommendation for belts for
people that want to sit there assembling it and not used to it.
That's the thing. Like, you know, individuals grow up riding like ourselves, and I'm assuming you probably did. And you grow up riding, and you're like, well, this is just a part of the habit. You know, it is what it is. You know, but when you bring a family, and maybe your wife didn't, you know, come from that space too, it's like, Joe, Justin, this is a pain in the ass. It's like, yeah, it is. And then you try to get them a better belt so it's not such a pain in the butt.
Absolutely.
The 4.2 and 4.3 are easier than the 5.3.
And I actually have the 5.3s in my car with the 3-inch wide, and they fit right over the next gen neck brace really well. I was worried about that with the padding, but actually it was really comfortable, and it worked really well. I was really excited
to hear
about that.
But that's super cool because a lot of people run. You know, they want to run 2-inch. We have specific race belts now where it's a 2-inch you can run a 3-inch lap or a 2-inch lap, and then you run 2-inch tops, and they have removable pads. This new Serape belt does not have it, but basically the belt has a removable pad, so then you can run a Hans device without the pad.
Okay.
But then when you want to go play or pre-run, you can run it with the pad because you're not having your next gen on. So the race belts come with ratchet style, pull up, pull down, pull ups, pull downs, roller adjusters, which is the classic style, and then we have a cam lock belt. So yeah, any type of racer can find something to love in a configuration with us.
So what is this that you brought here? I mean, this looks incredible.
Yeah, so basically we wanted to do a Serape pattern, but we didn't just want to do like a textbook, Serape pattern online. We saw some inspiration. We changed a little bit of it. So you'll see there's a red, white, and green lines on the red, and there's blue, white, and red on the blue. We manipulated that and added the PRP logo to it. So there's some branding on the actual webbing itself. Just want to protect ourselves, naturally. We don't want anyone to take our webbing style. So we always make sure to toss in some of our branding into the webbing just as a protective keepsake. But these belts just launched on the 27th, I believe, of January. So these are pretty fresh. Man, we have blown through them already. They are hustling. They're hitting the market. They're out at King of the Hammers right now, airing really well. I know probably when this airs, Hammers will be over. But man, they were a hit at Hammers. I know it because I worked there a couple days, and everybody was, oh, bro.
Yeah, right. They're just different. They're cool.
It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
There's a Serape printed belt now. I think the brain goes back to, oh, well, yeah, they got black belts and a couple other colors.
Yeah.
They've never seen something like this done before, so the eyeballs get really wide, which is cool.
So one thing I want to compliment you guys on is, I've tried many different brand belts over the years, and you guys always have a really good setup for being able to release this.
Yeah.
You have an old belt, it's stale, it's hard, it's dirty. Trying to release it, you're like, yank it on the belt. Honestly, the PRP seat belt has just always been really good about not doing that.
Yeah.
And being able to actually release yourself. I always try to,
I know what belts you're talking about.
Release the belt before I break it apart, but these have always been really good to me, and I've noticed that these have stood out from the other ones.
Yeah, a lot of belts run this. So the 5.3 standard, like how this setup is, comes with these. They're roller adjusters.
Okay.
This is the classic style. Now, it's not incredibly, imperative to run like these over here unless you're racing, but like these are super great. They work well, but like these up here is different. And then it has the little pull tab on them.
Yeah.
Not going to name what brand that is, but they have pull tabs on them, and so it's difficult. It just gets clogged. And so these are really great for the lap. They're just not really great for the top piece. It's just a different type of adjustment.
Yeah.
And so, we take a lot of pride in this, but if you want like a race belt, you can request these on here and pull up or pull down. So it really awesome. Mix and match to kind of get your rig right and make sure you're in your car right and make you happy. And but yeah, these, thank you, appreciate it.
These are definitely stands out. Like that's one of the key things that I really appreciate from you guys. And I also on this one, obviously we're not showing it on this end, but you have the bolts, but I actually replaced this where you had the clip-on ring.
Yeah.
So you can quickly remove it, and then in a race application, you could put a cotter pin through it. So it's actually a really cool feature for being able to pull your seats out really quick.
Yeah.
And not yank them out of the seats.
This is a great thank you for bringing this up. This is a really good example here. So this belt right here, this top piece, it allows you to pull this out. Okay, where you can do clips up top. So we sell a clip kit where you can basically get this out, swap to clips. Now that's cool for enthusiasts, but when you jump to this, this is the lap belt, and people that are racing that run clips on the lap. This is sewn. I can't get this out. Yeah. So that's why they have to run a race belt that has removable tabs where this piece is sewn away.
Got it.
So we can have a removable tab piece. And so that came into play several times at Hammers this weekend. People like, I need clips. And I'm like, well, you bought the wrong belt because I can't swap. You can't easily swap that. You're going to cut your tag off. So when they order race belts, you can just buy clips separate and then swap it to clips.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good to know. And so obviously if you have the seats, you have the seat belts, you're eventually going to end up with the steering wheel, right? And you guys seem like a go-to for that. And I run your guys' steering wheel. I love it. Feels good. And you guys have the hub on it, goes on for the UTV.
Yeah, we've really expanded that steering wheel line, and appreciate it. Run the wheel. I mean, we've really, we entered the steering wheel market with a lot of unknowns. Like, oh yeah, why not? We're selling to that. We're selling to the same customer, basically, where they can run that house of products. Steering wheels I call like the fourth step, like the fourth child.
Okay.
It's seats, harnesses, and storage.
Yep.
And then steering wheels is like hanging out over here. What about me? And so steering wheels have gotten incredibly popular. I brought a special example, and this will actually go live in May. I'm showing you guys first, actually. So when this drops, no one's actually seen this before, but this is our D-shaped steering wheel. We just released these last year. Super popular wheel, but we ended up doing this American flag pattern.
Cool.
And then if you see pretty faintly on the spoke here, we have a little pattern here that emulates the New Glory harness design that was so popular last year. And then we sell the caps separate now. We're really allowing the customer to select the cap that they want to roll with versus us just supplying it now. Because people it's another area for people to customize, and so we really like to give customers that option. So yeah, steering wheel's super popular. We got deep dish, flat, and now this D-shaped version, and then we're gonna come out with this American flag pattern to match.
Do you see like the vinyl steering wheel over is it Alcantara? Is that the material?
Or is it it's Alcantara.
Oh, Alcantara. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And no, it's totally cool. And the common wording is, well, it has to be Alcantara. It's suede.
Yeah.
So Alcantara's a brand.
Okay.
Actually, so you pay to run an Alcantara wheel.
No way.
It's a brand.
Yeah.
So, our wheels utilize an equivalent suede.
Okay.
So that way it's not like a $500 steering wheel out of the gate,
Right.
We're thinking the consumers, they're enthusiasts. They want a different wheel than what comes with stock, that's still suede, still feels really nice, wears really great, but it doesn't have to have that name brand price.
Right.
And so, Alcantara's great, awesome, super soft, but, it's...
I never knew that's how it was actually said.
I've
always heard people say it the other way.
Someone will probably correct me and say, Justin, you probably said it wrong.
I've always heard it the other way, so that's fun. It's funny to actually hear it that way. All right, so as you know, like we're starting to become really big in the door industry, and we have new doors for all the different UTVs or the popular UTVs, and the big thing that people are asking us about is door bags, and thankfully we're actually gonna be teaming up with you guys to create door bags custom for our doors, and we're pretty excited about that. And it just seems like even just at Hammers last weekend, just every single vehicle had door bags in it, and it's crazy how popular they are. People stuffing, like, you stuff tacos into that one video you guys put on the PRP page. Like, you can put anything in tacos, hammers, like your phone.
They fit so much. Like, you can really make it as utility as you want. Like, to consumers, again, we're talking racers, and then we're talking the everyday Joe. Everyday Joe's gonna put his wallet, sunglasses, phone, keys, and then the racer's gonna be like, man, I need to put this 1988 wrench in here because it's the only size I have. So it's like, as long as there's a good enough depth to it, it'll hold up to the race. That's really kind of what we're after on the race storage. I mean, we have an impact gun bag. People buy it to put their guns in, but they're actual guns. But the impact gun bag's rad. It sits on the inside of the door, has Velcro on it. So, we're looking forward to making bags for UTV doors. You guys' doors are actually the most beautiful doors I've seen. They look really great quality. And so making a custom door for the enthusiast is going to be able to open it up extremely, because then they're going to go, well, my car doesn't come with a lot of storage. Like the 2-seat cars, like, where do you put stuff?
Right. Yeah.
Where do you, like, you replace the only compartment because you put a rugged radio in.
Yeah. That's
okay,
it.
now there's
nothing.
You're out of room. So they're going to be looking for options, and so it's super smart of businesses like yourself that are manufacturing products like that to consider selling another piece of product on top of that with your branding on it. So you'll be able to have an LSK door bag, basically.
Awesome.
That's customized to your
we
door.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be rad. And they're all made here, which is great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So, on top of that, just tell us a little bit more about PRP itself and the marketing team. You guys are absolutely killing it. What do you guys have planned this year? And And what do you look forward to?
Yeah, for sure. So PRP was, I'll kind of start at the beginning. PRP was founded in 1997 by Aaron Wedeking. We are 25 years into this thing now.
Wow.
So Aaron basically built PRP seats. Sheer out of demand, he wasn't able to get seats in time for something he needed it for, and said, well, how hard could it be?
Yeah.
And then he built it and sold his first set to B&R Buggy, the OGs, and Oceanside for Bugs. What's up, Gary? And so I'm sure Gary will probably watch this. I'll send it to him. But he sold his first pair to Gary, and then Gary's like, "You're the one I want to work with," and stopped selling anything else.
Awesome.
And so PRP really kind of took off. Aaron went ahead and sold the company in 2007. He bought it back in 2009. What a deal that was. And then since then, he hired my marketing and sales director in 2012. And then my marketing sales director hired me in 2019 to just be the social media guy, just your neighborhood social media kid, that thought, he could figure it out.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
Since then jumped a couple spots now to marketing manager. We got a team of 5 that kick ass. We have 4 brands underneath us. We have PRP, Status Racing. We have Speed Strap, which is the popular tie-down, the 3-wheel point tie-downs for racers and stuff, recovery ropes, all that good stuff. And then we have an Amazon company called Bullring. So we handle all the marketing for that.
Is all that made here in the U.S. or depends on what it is?
It depends on what it is, yeah. So the seats and stuff for Status Racing are here. The covers are all made here.
Right.
Status Racing's gone to really trying to focus on getting FIA certified seats. And an FIA certification is really for designated on-road racing. Right now there's no off-road racing, racing synced racing, group that requires it. So King of the Hammers Ultra 4 does not require an FIA certified seat.
Really?
No.
Just SFI?
Nothing.
Nothing. Wow.
It's just nothing. No SFI, no FIA, no nothing. So you can just roll up with, a $300 composite seat from another company and race, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, but for on-road racing, you have to have an FIA seat if you're doing tracing, you're racing an auto club, just down the street from you guys. So we're really focused there. So
very cool.
Versus manufacturing a whole new seat, spending $10,000, $5,000 to test, $5,000 for the certification, and hoping the seat passes for FIA cert to say we make our own seat. It's like, Status Racing is just a small market share. We can't, take the hit of it not working out,
right.
And then going to the R&D on this mold. So we basically do the covers here.
Very
basically.
cool.
Yeah, so it's the same style. You customize the seats front to back, just like how PRP does. And those are all 4 brands here. So since then, go back. Aaron sold the company to Best Top, which makes the soft tops and hard tops for Jeeps. And it allowed us to move out of a 12,000 square foot building into a 48,000 square foot building, which allows this substantial growth and being able to get machines and capital to be able to do what we do. We now do seat covers, and we sew 80 to 90 seats a day.
That's incredible. How many people do you have working there?
We have 98 employees.
That's unreal.
Nobody would imagine this company have 98 employees, but we do. We have all the sewers, we have all the mounters, we have all the QC, we have the welders.
And I believe you guys offer window net services. Like if you were to fabricate a frame and send it in, you guys we'll
do the window nets.
Yeah.
We weld all the suspension seat frames here.
Okay.
It's really a U.S. made operation.
Awesome.
Literally as much as we possibly can to be USA pride forward. And it's made in Temecula, Southern California. You get off on Temecula Parkway and head out to Glamis. It's kind of a cool spot to be in the off-road community.
Yeah. Very cool.
So that is, that's really PRP, and we're gonna keep going. 2023 off to a great start. As I showed you guys, this wheel's gonna come out in May, and then we have some other harness ideas to release at the end of the year. We have new. I won't lead on to what that pattern's going to be because I still haven't seen it yet. But we want to do a. We will be releasing a new version of Shreddy harnesses coming up.
Awesome.
We want to do a different Shreddy wheels for this year.
Yeah.
Shreddy storage, actually, we want to do a little bit of storage because you're like, well, I've already got all this stuff. You know? And then redo some of the seats with some new configurations for him.
Right.
So it really allows that customability because if you wanted to call in your regular customer and you want to go, I want the Shreddy logo on my seat. Well, you can't because you don't own that logo. Nobody can get your logo without you doing it.
So what items do you offer in the Shreddy collab essentially with that logo on it?
We seats right now, and then and harnesses and steering wheels. We do want to jump to storage here this year, but it just kind of is like if you want a Shreddy branded seat, you have to buy the versions we offer.
Right.
You can't be like, I want the Premier Light with a Shreddy logo on it. Well, we don't make a Shreddy version of that.
Yeah,
so, and you're not Blake.
Yeah.
So therefore, I can't make it for you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that's worked out really neat for us. Working with Terra Crew and Blake, Darren Parsons,
Awesome.
Eisenhower's, all those guys are super rad.
Yeah.
They help. They really diversify our market from a UTV and race focus to being fun and pre-run and
the
lifestyle of being an off-road enthusiast. And so they're the ones that everybody looks up to and really like emulates out there when they're when they're riding. You ride for yourself for sure, but you always have some form of like, if only I was like, or man, but he has that, and working with those guys has just been a blessing, and all of them are super great. They're like family to us.
Absolutely.
And we love seeing them and hanging out with them you drinking beer by the fire and just talking. I mean, that's really what it is. At King of the Hammers, it's all just big family. We all just hang out and do all that stuff together.
Very cool.
Yeah, man.
Well, I really appreciate you coming today, and
dude,
of course, it was great.
I'm honored. I'm honored to be the first person on this. This is crazy.
This is all new. This is the first time. It's been very much a learning curve to get to this point, and we're pretty excited to do this. Make sure that you give us feedback on this, and let us know who else you'd like to see on this podcast as we move forward. And thank you very much, and we'll catch you guys next time.
And we're not making fanny packs yet.
Okay.
Please, God, stop the madness.
We need them.
Everybody, the
Can we
world
get some
needs
LSK
the
fanny packs?
Dude, they want PRP, LSK fanny packs. Dude,
yes.
All they do is comment on all of our posts now. Fanny packs.
Oh, gosh.
Stop the madness, please. Thank you.
Man.
But seriously, bro, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hyped
Thank you for
able to
coming.
show this stuff. See you guys at the facility. It's super awesome. I'm really looking forward to working together on a business level, and then more on this fun stuff here. So
absolutely.
Killer.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, dude.